Today on the channel, Top 10 Star Wars Black Series of 2020. Welcome everyone, Kyle here, and today I am dressed in my best dress shirt. You know I gotta represent for a top 10 list, and that's what I do. I got the finest of my 80s Kenny Rogers Western wear. I have quite the collection just for times and videos like these. And today, we are doing the top 10 Star Wars Black Series of 2020. As you guys have known that followed my channel in 2020, I'm a little backed up on my Star Wars unboxings. And long story short, I'm working on display changes, mixing some things around. My Star Wars was moving. I didn't want to open up a bunch of Star Wars figures while I was in the midst of moving them. So I'm working on unboxing a lot of those right now. And you're going to actually see most of these being mint in box, as I have not done unboxing videos on these yet. But very great year for Star Wars. We had a big packaging change this year, and of course The Mandalorian stole all of our hearts along with the child. I would say Star Wars has had a banner year, as I'm an avid figure hunter. As you guys know, I've been in the stores for 30 plus years figure hunting. And Star Wars this year took it to a next level. I never had difficulties finding Star Wars in the store until 2020. That tells you interest is at an all-time high when the Star Wars action figures are flying off the shelves like nobody else. So that is great for Star Wars. It's great for all of us, and we know a lot of new fans are being brought into the Star Wars world, including myself. I've had a painful past of trying to buy some of my childhood toys back, and I finally have pulled the trigger. So I will have a Star Wars boxing every single day in 2021 is my plan. So if you've not subscribed to my channel, subscribe right now. There's going to be a lot of Star Wars unboxings in 2021 on top of all the normal Marvel, Marvel Select, Marvel Legends, WWE, AEW, Ninja Turtles, Thundercats, He-Man. I could go on and on. There's unboxings like you wouldn't believe on the channel, and figure discussion and figure reviews. So make sure you subscribe. Make sure you like this video while you're here. Check out some of my other top 10 of 2020 lists while you're here as well. You don't want to miss those. And like I said, subscribe to the channel. You don't want to miss anything. There's a lot going on. And a lot going on today in today's video. Like I said, the top 10 Black Series of 2020. This is my personal list. This is nobody else's list. You guys in the comments, leave me a list below. And make sure you put them in order. That's the thing about a top 10 list. It's easy just to throw 10 figures out there. The hard part is putting them in an order from number 1 being the best, 10, you know, the 10th best. You know how it goes. Maybe some honorable mentions. And I'm going to have one honorable mention today. And we'll get to that here in a second. But please put your list in there, top 10. I'd love to hear from you guys, as I know a lot of people that follow my channel have jumped on the Star Wars bandwagon recently, which is great. The more Star Wars fans, the more figures we get, the more the line succeeds. Everybody's happy at the end of the day. So there you have it. There's a little housekeeping at the beginning. Let's knock through these videos, and we're going to start first with one honorable mention. Always tough finding an honorable mention. I don't like to get too deep into them, but I got one that I figured I'd pull out, and that is from the Mandalorian line, or Mandalorian subset. That would be the Incinerator Trooper. We all remember him from Season 1 of The Mandalorian, just coming out there, just all guns blazing with that flame. Just an awesome part of the show in Season 1. If you missed it, go back and watch it again. But this would be my honorable mention figure of the year. You know, my favorites aren't usually the Clone Wars armies, the Stormtroopers, the different troopers out there. Usually don't make a top 10 list for me because, you know, they're somewhat well, not somewhat. They are army builders. They're a little bit generic. But this one I had to have as an honorable mention because he had such a cool scene in The Mandalorian Season 1. So there it is. That's my honorable mention. Now let's start counting them down from 10 to number 1. All right, we're kicking it off with number 10, and from the Walmart exclusive line, we're looking at Ahsoka Tano. There she is. A lot of buzz on her this year, as obviously she was in The Mandalorian Season 2. Had a cool part in that brought a lot of attention to the character. We also got a Star Wars Rebels set from her this year, and I do think 2021 we will have many more figures of her, as well as she may be getting her own television show as well on Disney+. So a lot of buzz about this character. We all know she was trained by Anakin Skywalker. There you go, a little Easter egg there for you. But a very sick figure. Very cool figure. I know a lot of people fought with this one and had trouble getting this one at Walmart. It was another Walmart exclusive. We love to hate exclusives. A lot of people hate them, but there is a reason, and we talk about it all the time on the channel, reasoning for exclusives, reasoning for the business end of it. And then this one, unfortunately, was a Walmart exclusive. A lot of people had trouble tracking down, but maybe there'll be more in 2021. Who knows how deep and how many units were made. I gotta think there's more of these out there somewhere, but this is number 10. It's the Walmart exclusive version, number 10 on my top 10 Star Wars Black Series of 2020. All right, next up, we're feeling fine at number 9, and it is one of the heaviest hitters, and probably a lot of you are wondering why this isn't farther down my list, but coming in at number 9, we got the Mandalorian in Beskar armor. Mandalorian madness, we've talked about it. Everybody is hyped for this. These Mandalorian figures, and all Star Wars figures in general, but specifically the Mandalorian figures, are extremely difficult to get out of retail right now. Just amazing, the popularity of these figures and popularity of the show, and how it's just breathed new life into a lot of Star Wars fans and bringing back a lot of lapsed fans into the game. It's kind of like one of those things where your favorite band, they're a little band, you love them, you watch them every day, and then all of a sudden they get popular. They have a big hit single like the Mandalorian show, and now Star Wars is, bam, popular again, making figure hunters like us sweating it out there, getting a little of that Star Wars anxiety out there on the shelves, and none caused anxiety more than this Mandalorian. I never saw him in the stores. I usually see about everything in the stores. My trick is, and here's my tip of the day, pre-order everything when it's announced on Amazon, Hasbro Pulse, you name it. Pre-order those on there because, hey, if you can't find it in the stores, then you got an opportunity to find him. You'll get him through the mail. And that's what I did. I actually got him via Amazon. So I was very happy to receive him in the mail. And at least I got him one way or the other. It's not as fun as finding him in the stores, but I'll take it through the mail. But a lot of people looking for this Beskar armor Mandalorian. Like I said, there's a reason it's not as high on my list as some might feel, but I love this figure. Very cool. Can't be beat, and it's a very hard one to get. It's a pricey figure, and I only see it rising in price as the years go by. So if you haven't got this Mandalorian figure, you better look into it and get it while you can. Maybe you can find a deal out there. Maybe you'll see some restocks. I don't know. I'm not seeing a whole lot of restocks of this set anymore. We got that new set just hitting the pegs right now, so I think this is done. So if you need one, head to eBay. But this one comes in at number 9 in my top 10 list of 2020. All right, next up at number 8 is another one I haven't seen a whole lot. I actually found this one at my local GameStop. Just happened to bump into him there. And at number 8, from the Clone Wars, we've got Cad Bane. Nothing like a bounty hunter. I'm sure a lot of you guys like me, bounty hunters stole your heart back with the original trilogy and never let go with all the great bounty hunters and the Rogues Gallery. Well, the Clone Wars time period, Cad Bane was bounty hunter numero uno. And we were happy to finally get a Black Series figure of him in the traditional line. There is an exclusive that was on Hasbro Pulse that came with a droid, deluxe packaging, stuff like that. I don't really count that one. I guess that one is better than this one technically, but this one's okay for me. I don't need all that bells and whistles and for the extra price point and stuff. I'm okay with this as my Cad Bane. I'm sure a lot of you guys are in the same boat, but you hardcores out there, you completists out there, you got to have both. I know exactly how that goes, but I'm okay with just this Cad Bane. Love the looks on this one. Love that blue face that takes distracts you from the brown and the big hat. Just a great solid figure. Just a definitely one that is warranted to be on any top 10 list this year, if you ask me, and that's why Cad Bane comes in at number 8. All right, the countdown continues, and now we've gotten to the number 7 point. And number 7 is a recent pickup. I just picked this one up in the last week. I didn't think I'd actually get this in 2020, but it started hitting the shelves in the Midwest where I'm from with a vengeance about a couple of weeks ago, and I was very lucky. I went on a Star Wars hunt. I said, I'm going to try to find this set today. First stop of the day, I found the whole set, and I was very happy to have at number 7, Moff Gideon. There's a theme here, Mandalorian TV show, another popular one. This is going to be a very popular set he's involved in. His Mandalorian madness, as we talked about, is running wild right now through the world, really. Or the galaxy. How about that? But Moff Gideon, the villain of the Mandalorian, comes with the dark saber, I think, and I'm pretty sure that's the first representation of the dark saber in the Black Series line. So a lot of people want it for that. I've already seen people selling the figure without the saber online, so There you go, Bo-Katan probably getting herself a dark saber and Moff kicking to the curb. But a very cool figure. We need more villains all the time. I love the villain characters, and this is villain number 1 in The Mandalorian as of right now. So definitely going to be a tough to get one. I think everybody needs it. You get your heroes, you need at least one villain, and then Moff Gideon is the villain for The Mandalorian. So he is coming in at number 7 in my top 10 list. Coming in at number 6, we got the guy, and you know what? He has spoken. If you've watched The Mandalorian, we're talking about Quill at number 6. Another Mandalorian character, Mandalorian madness. Like I said, it's running rampant in the world and the galaxy. It's running rampant in my top 10 list. And for those that follow along, I love face-painted wrestlers and figures and superhero guys. I love big people, but I also love little characters. And it doesn't get much smaller outside of the child than Quill in The Mandalorian. A central character, kind of the heart and soul of Season 1 a little bit. The Ugnaught, the Mandalorian comes across him, and they become quite the formidable team in Season 1. Really like this figure. I like small figures. I like things that aren't reuse and are new molds, new body types. And that fits this. It's a smaller figure, and that's what we get in Star Wars. Not everybody's the same size. Not everybody looks the same in the Star Wars universe, as you guys all know. Very happy to have this one, and just like Moff Gideon, part of that same wave. I found him just last week. I thought for sure it'd be 2021, but the Star Wars gods were shining down on me, and I came across Quill at my local Target. Very happy to have him in here, and very happy to see him at the number 6 in my top 10 Star Wars Black Series figures of 2020. Alright guys, we've come to the halfway point of my top 10 Star Wars Black Series 2020 figures. We're at number 5. And for number 5, we come somewhere that's near and dear to my heart. My first really remembrance of Star Wars Galaxy and Universe and movies. And we're going way back to the 80s when Kyle was just a little kid. And at number 5, we're talking about Return of the Jedi. We're talking about my boy Tebow of the Ewoks. Now, it's so funny, if people that are a little older than me absolutely hated the Ewoks, I know, I understand, I've heard from them. They hated the Ewoks. Kind of very similar to Jar Jar Binks, how I thought of him in my teen years. And people thought that way of the Ewoks in Return of the Jedi. Me, however, being a little kid, 5, 6 years old, I was all in on those Ewoks. I love the Ewoks spin-off, I love the cartoon, I love those Ewoks movies. I love the Ewoks, and I'm glad we are finally starting to get the Ewoks in the Black Series. I hope in 2021 we get a lot more Ewok characters. Of course, we need Wicket, but I would take every Ewok they give me. I would love to have a shelf full of different Ewoks and stuff. You give me all the Ewoks and Wookiees in the world, and I'm a happy guy. So that's why Tebow's at number 5. Maybe a more minor character in the whole galaxy world of Star Wars, but the Ewoks are very important to me. In my Star Wars Black Series figures, and I am excited to have my first Ewok, and I need many more, so keep them coming. I guarantee 2021 when we get more Ewoks, they're probably going to be on a top 10 list for me, but very cool to get Tebow. Not one that pegged very hard. I see him around, or I didn't see him around as much as some of the others from this wave, but very cool. Got the green packaging for the Return of the Jedi, and a very cool figure all around. So there it is, number 5, Tebow. Alright, we've came to the number 4 spot in my top 10 of 2020, and for number 4, it is the only figure that is on the old carding. As you guys know, Star Wars Black Series switched their carding in 2020. Not a big fan of changing of the cards. You guys, the longtime viewers of my channel, know I love package uniformity between lines, but lines that get so long and so deep as Star Wars, I do understand they need to freshen the packaging up from time to time, and that's what we saw in 2021, and I think the reception has been all positive for the new packaging, myself included. I like the old packaging, but now, looking at the two, the new packaging is the way to go, so I'm okay with the change. But I got one figure in there in my top 10 list that was in the old style packaging. And that is my boy, Kit Fisto. Kit Fisto, another Jedi in the Clone Wars saga, Clone War movies. Really cool figure. I love aliens. I love weird looking characters. I remember seeing him for the first time, probably in the Phantom Menace, if not Attack of the Clones. I think it was Phantom Menace though. And very cool character, obviously in the cartoon, stuff like that. Got a little deeper background, deeper story to him, but very happy to get him as represented in the Black Series line. Very cool figure. Like I said, the old style packaging, which is interesting. It seems like an eternity ago this was the packaging, but that is 2020. been a very weird year as far as space and time and what day it is and all that. So this seems like it was years ago this packaging came out, but no, it was at the beginning of the year we still had this packaging floating around. So that's Kit Fisto at number 4. One of the coolest Jedi figures released in 2020, for sure. So there it is, Kit Fisto. All right, the top 10 rolls on, and at number 3 is a late entry, and one I typically thought was going to be a 2021 figure, but it just squeaked under the radar. And at number 3, we have the Speeder Bike, Scout Trooper, and Child Amazon exclusive pack. I just recently unboxed this on my channel, so make sure you check out that video for a little more in-depth discussion. But this one hits me like probably a lot of you guys in the nostalgia feels for sure, as brings back to the Return of the Jedi days. But this has been updated for the Mandalorian TV show. It's a nice Easter egg in the Mandalorian. There's a lot of people watching the Mandalorian that don't know the whole Star Wars canon and whole universe. But it's the nice nod, tip of the hat to longtime viewers when you see a speeder bike and a speeder bike trooper. We've had this figure in the past, but I like this one. The new stand compared to the old stand, you got an updated decor on the speeder bike and the speeder bike trooper. Obviously got the child in the knapsack. Cool Amazon packaging. I was, like I said, expecting this one in 2021. As you guys know how it is with Amazon. You pre-order something, hey, it's 3 months down the line, you kind of forget about it. Then all of a sudden, Christmas Eve, I got a little knock on my door, and it was not Santa Claus. It was the UPS Amazon guy, and he was dropping this speeder bike off for me. So it was a really nice Christmas surprise, a really cool surprise for a lot of us out there, as I wasn't paying attention to my Amazon orders, seeing that it had been updated to shipping soon and stuff. So it was really cool to get a surprise, especially on Christmas Eve like that. Was not expecting to get this at all. So very cool. Glad I got it in 2020. And technically, a lot of people would say, oh, this could be a 2021 figure. It's really a 2020 because Amazon, there's no stores. There's no distribution and all that kind of stuff where maybe it was hitting the pegs, maybe it's not. Amazon, if you pre-ordered this thing, you got it on the day of release, and that was right around Christmas Eve, or at least a day or two, give or take, around there. So this is technically probably the last Star Wars figure that was released in 2020, and for me, it is number 3 on my top 10 list. All right, guys, we're getting to the home stretch. We're looking at the top 2. So number 2 for me is a bit of a deep cut, but one character I have loved since I was a kid. I had so many fond memories of the toy as a little kid. My dad and I always loved this guy when I was a kid, watching the movies. He just always cracked me up, and I was glad he got a second chance in some of the later movies. And one figure that I thought would just fly off the shelves in 2020, but to be honest, just because I love it doesn't mean it couldn't be a peg warmer. And this one was a bit of a peg warmer in 2020, at least in my area, but totally undeserved. People should be buying him, picking him up. But for number 2, for me, Star Wars Return of the Jedi, Mr. Admiral Ackbar. Absolutely love this character. I love the crazy, zany characters, and Admiral as kind of a fish man type thing. Always just thought it was the coolest thing. Very fond memories of him in the original trilogy, and to this day. I was so happy we got a Black Series. We did get a Black Series back in the day from one of the newer movies, in a 2-pack, I think, with Poe, I believe it was. That kind of scratched the itch a little bit, but this one goes all the way with his traditional white garb that we know and love. Absolutely happy to have this figure. One of my favorite figures, I think, in the Star Wars Black Series as a whole, even. That's how much I like Admiral Ackbar. Now, if we could just get a Neon Numb, I put him in that same kind of canon as Admiral Ackbar. I would love to get him too as well. Just loved his figure as a kid, and his character very similar to Admiral Ackbar. Give me all those crazy aliens in the Black Series. I hope in 2021 we'll see more of that. I'm sure we will. But go deep. Let's go deep in the alien characters. But you gotta watch out. He was a bit of a peg warmer. Totally undeserved, if you ask me. But number 2, the man, the Admiral, the Ackbar. All right, the grand finale. Number 1 on the top 10 Black Series figures of the year, 2020, as chosen by me. This is my list. Hopefully you guys in the comments give me your list, and give me it in order if you can. That's the hard part, and that's the challenging part of this. And I went back and forth. It took me a while. And, you know, sometimes some of these lists could possibly change if you ask me a year from now. But as I sat at the last couple of weeks trying to make my mind up, this is what I came to. And at number 1 is probably one of the most popular figures right now. I'm not sure if we're going to be able to find it again. Luckily, I had a viewer that reached out to me and hooked me up, and I got a copy of this one, as I never saw this in my stores. You guys see my figure hunting videos. I'm in a lot of stores. I see a lot of stuff. Star Wars is becoming extremely difficult in my area to find, so I really thank the viewers like you guys out there. And for number 1, I didn't think it would be. I originally said I was going to pass on this, but then I changed my mind, and it went all the way to number 1 on my list, and that is the Target exclusive Black Series Mandalorian and a Child. There it is, right there. The 2-pack of the year for sure, and the Black Series figure of the year for sure for me. Now, a little bit why. Mandalorian madness, sweeping the nation. I'm included. I love all Star Wars, always have, always will. But the Mandalorian show is great. We all know that. We all love that. And we are all swept up in the Mandalorian madness. We want all the figures we can. We want all the vehicles we can. And to get the Child and Mandalorian 2-pack together, yeah, we got the Child single released. A little mixed results. $9.99 for an accessory. That seemed a little bit of a stretch. It feels good in this pack. You get the extra pod he comes in. This is a pretty strong re-release of the Beskar armor that was later down in my Black Series list. That's why that one wasn't higher. It would have been higher if this pack did not exist. I still like that one. It's very similar. It's basically the same figure as this one. The only difference here is the Mandalorian mask is removable on this figure. That is a huge selling point, as we know he takes his mask off a couple of times in the series so far. But this is your only chance to get a Mandalorian unmasked with that mask on and off. Obviously, the other one, when I do unbox it, he will be with the mask because you can't take it off. This one, I'm going to display unmasked. It's the best of both worlds. It's the best of both displays, and Target nailed it out of the park with this one. This is a pretty big get if you ask me for Target. We talk about store exclusives a lot on the channel. We love them, we hate them, we love to hate them. Back and forth. This is a tough one because a lot of people want this pack. There's a lot of people out there that don't collect Star Wars, don't really do a lot of figures, but just want a Mandalorian Child in their collection. And I think that is super cool for people that don't collect figures to just want a one-off like that on their desk or their mantle or whatever. And we got to thank the Mandalorian. It's the year of Mandalorian in 2020, Star Wars Black Series and Star Wars in general. It's the most buzz thing in Star Wars in a long time. And dare I even say over some of the latest trilogy. I think the Mandalorian has more buzz and more fandom around it than even that. So that is why this is my favorite. This is my number 1 of the year. It's funny how it went from I was probably going to pass on this to, man, I got to have it. And that's exactly what I did. I got it. So there it is. That is my Black Series 2020 top 10 list. I asked you guys, put your top 10 list down in the comments. Let me know. What do you think about my list? Are you going to say, what is Tebow doing on here? What is Admiral Akbar? Once again, it's my list. These are my favorite top 10s. You guys tell me your top 10. Everybody's got a different top 10, I'm sure. But these are my top 10 and my favorites that I saw in 2020 and purchased in 2020. So hopefully you guys put a comment in there. Don't forget to like the video. You're already here. You've watched this far. You might as well hit that like button. And then, of course, the subscribe button. A lot of Star Wars talk on the channel in 2021. I can promise you that. I got my displays ready to go. I can start unboxing all these. There will be unboxing videos of all these and a whole lot more. Like I said, I've went back. I've bought a massive Star Wars collection. I said, I got to get my childhood back, and that's what I'm doing. I bought some of those 90s figures, and we'll do an unboxing every single day in 2021. It's going to be quite the journey, quite the process, quite the amount of work for old Kyle, but I'm up to the challenge. I know you guys are too, so subscribe to the channel. Don't forget to comment, like the video, and until next year, we'll see who comes out number 1 in 2021. But until then, I'm Kyle, Cowboy Kyle. I'll see you guys all real soon.